I think people are more reactive than they used to be.
I agree. They're kind of scary.
Sometimes they're afraid to say hi.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes that if you are try to help or like, I don't know, one time at Walmart, some lady was trying to push their cart and they were watering. So the hose was in the way. And I almost felt like, oh, I'm going to grab the front. Like she's going to say, let go of my cart. I don't know. I was just trying to be helpful. So I don't know, but it does feel like people are more reactive.
They are. I mean, our whole world is just become so overstimulating. People, I think it's been normalized to just be angry or to choose to be offended about anything. Mm-hmm. In a lot of ways, we have more time on our hands than we've ever had before. And when you aren't doing something constructive, you start to wonder. It kind of reminds me of like people who are on the HOA committees and they're micromanaging how other people live. It's like, don't you have something better to do?
I mean, HOAs are a whole nother episode.
They are a whole other episode.
So Carmen, are we there yet?
I don't know, Anna. Are we? Oh, hi. Thanks for joining us.
Hi. This is Are We There Yet? I'm Anna.
And I'm Carmen.
And guess what? We're cousins.
We are. We met in high school.
We did.
Yeah, we were running laps.
Good old laps.
Yeah.
That's a very Gen X type of thing.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like our generation was the last one to really experience gym class, like gym class, like
do your sit-ups.
The teachers were like, they didn't let you off. If you had cramps, tough.
Yeah, you had to suck it up.
Yeah.
I remember.
You might have a note from your mom. They'd be like, go get dressed.
Yeah. I remember in, 8th grade, my gym teacher was like, just because you have your period doesn't mean that, and cramps doesn't mean that you get out of gym class. You're still going to have to go ahead and get in your shorts and run. And we're like, because it's painful. It was not fun.
No.
We were always told to suck it up, get over it, and figure it out.
We were. And I would say that resonates with a lot of Gen Xers.
Yeah, like everyone that I know.
So why do you think that? Do you think Gen Xers are as reactive? And I don't want to be like, oh, this generation
we're so much better,
and this generation is this, and but it's like, there is a difference in the generations. There just is.
There are.
And so when we were talking about the episode and like, why are people so reactive? I was just kind of trying to think about like, okay, like, is that a generational thing? Is that, like you said, you kind of touched on that. Like we've been taught to kind of get offended by a lot of things. And that really wasn't Gen X generation, though.
No, definitely not. Like if we were offended, people were like, what's your problem? Like, grow up, get over it.
Basically, they kind of called you out on it. And, there is some, I do feel like we did kind of bully each other a little bit because we both have big bully stories.
Yeah.
We were very much bullied. That was kind of maybe not the brightest spot for Gen Xers.
No, definitely not. But that's a learned behavior. You learn that at home.
That's true.
You learn that in society. It really, and I think a lot of us, like I know I have 3 older siblings, and when I've talked to them about this, it's like we were all just surviving our childhoods instead of like enjoying our childhood, like, or just having
that. That's a good point.
Yeah. And so in that survival, you're just like, I remember being told like, oh, like from my older siblings, you're so mean. And I'm like, well, it's a learned behavior. You're not just born and said, oh, you know what? I think I'll be an asshole today. To everybody.
I don't know. I think some people do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, consciously now as an adult, probably, but as a kid, you're just, you are reacting to your environment, to the stimulus around you. And, I think obviously now we know more about childhood and child development and how to, parent children with boundaries and support and structure. And I think part of, and I do think some of our generation is responsible for this, but the way that we were raised, which was basically like, oh, you're not hurt, just rub some dirt on it, you'll get over it, fix it yourself mentality. Your parents were like, raise yourselves, essentially. We want you, but it's an inconvenience for us because it was. And
they were all working.
Not
that we don't, but I'm just, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think when we started coming into being parents, we just swung the pendulum so far to the other side, and a lot of us overcorrected. And some of us didn't. Some of us were able to stay in the middle and like balance that out and be like, no, we are going to have consequences. We are going to have boundaries. I'm not going to do everything for you. You are going to have to figure it out. I'm here to support. And for those of us that swung too far and were like helicopter parenting and saying, no, honey, here's a participation trophy and let me do everything for you. I think that opened the door for some of this, just I'm entitled, I'm going to overreact, I'm going to be reactive because I don't know how to handle these things.
Well, because I was thinking about that the other day and I was just like, okay, so we both have Gen Zers kids, and I have one millennial, and I didn't realize my oldest daughter, she is also a Gen Zer. I thought she was a millennial, but the 97 is still.
Yeah, I think
she's kind of.
I think she's on the line.
Yeah. But I was thinking, okay, so the stereotypical Gen X, we were like, so how did this next generation that is very more in their emotions, how much is that part of the overcorrecting then that some of the Gen Xers did? Because I would say, I don't want to be like, my kids.
My kid's perfect.
Yeah. My kid is self-aware,
You're right.
But there is that, like, I wouldn't say our kids are very much in their emotions a lot. They are very much so, hey, get it done. If you want to go do it, suck it up and just go. I mean, so I feel like they do have some of that Gen X mentality, but I was just wondering, I was just like, so how come though there are some Gen Zers that are, to me, they just get their feelings hurt a little too easily.
They're like ready for it. Like, oh, I'm ready to be upset.
Yeah. So would that be the Gen Xers that kind of were more helicoptery?
I would say, yeah.
You think?
Yeah. And I mean, too, you have like an internal locus of control versus an external. So internal would be kind of like we are, whereas I control me and I don't control the world around me, but I control me. I make those decisions, and the external is everything controls me and I'm out of control. And you're going to see more of that reactivity in that external locus of control behavior. And when you have like the overcorrecting, the helicopter parents, like just going the furthest from, the negative way that they were raised, which they create another negative because you don't have balance in there. And you teach kids like, oh, every little thing that you're upset about, oh my gosh, you poor thing, that happened to you. I'm so sorry. Let me give you whatever you want. And it doesn't teach a child to sit back and say, oh, I am feeling something. My parent is telling, let's sit with your feelings. This is hard. How long did you need time alone? Like, they don't teach you the curiosity. And I do think that's somewhere.
Don't teach you I love that.
Yeah. Like I do think one of the pros of being a Gen X kid was that we really did have a lot of space for curiosity because our parents were like, just go. And we're like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to figure this out. And so
because we came home to an empty house.
Yeah. And so then you had to figure it out. You really did.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing? I don't know.
Mhm.
Let's tinker with our emotions, tinker with the situation, and you figured it out.
Well, I think too, it's just like you hear this, like fuck around and find out. But I feel like that was our generation. I felt like
We did.
there was consequences. Like if you did this, you're going to get your butt beat. Or I mean, my parents were like, oh, I'm going to beat your butt. But there was consequences. And so it's like, to me, I didn't like do a lot of fuck around and find out, because it was just like that self-awareness that maybe that comes from that natural curiosity also.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, self-awareness is something lacking right now.
Yeah, I think
Thus the title.
Are we there yet?
Obviously, we're there.
Yeah, we're there.
We're enlightened.
Yeah, we're getting there anyway.
Yeah, we are. This is not
It's a journey.
Yes,
it really is. And the further I go, I'm like, oh, that's like the light bulbs keep going on.
Yeah.
And I like that. But I remember like the first time the light bulb really went on, I felt like something, I could physically feel it happening in my brain. I was like, I knew that there was more. And I feel like our self-awareness is something that it's all part of the journey. It's never like, oh, I can mark that off. I'm self-aware. No, it's true. You have to practice it. It's like humility. Once you say, oh, I'm a humble person, you're not humble anymore. It's a practice.
Well, there are lots of influencers that are, hey, they tote it every day, and they tell us about it.
Yeah, like, but are you really?
Yeah, I would say that's fake self-awareness and fake. They're hiding behind reality, because the reality of it is self-awareness is messy.
It is.
And it is painful, and it makes you realize things about yourself that you're like, ew.
I know. Ew. I love it.
And so it's like, but then you want to change it. And I think that's that is also part of self-awareness, that people are like, oh, I'm self-aware, but it's just like there also is a change about it. If there's something that you are like, ew. But I think that is where people don't want to get their hands dirty.
Oh yeah, because it's messy, and it is work.
Yeah,
and there's no going around. It's always going through. You have to go through, and I've seen these memes and reels, and enlightenment. It's like looks like this and this peaceful experience, and it's really not. It reminds me of on the Barbie movie, Barbie that got, I think Kate McKinnon played her character, and she's got like the short hair, it's dyed, and her makeup is weird.
I love that one. I had a Barbie like that.
Yes, I know. Weird house. That kind of, like she comes out like, wow, that was a rough night. That's more like what it is, becoming enlightened.
Yeah.
And because you're healing what hurts. You're healing what you went through. And you went through that. So what makes you think you're going to go around it? You have to go through it to heal. And I look back now and just on my own journey, and I'm like, I enjoy the through. I really enjoy the through. I don't shirk or shy away from it anymore.
No. Yeah.
I continue because I know the reward on the other side of it is so worth it. And if I can share anything, it's always worth it. You should always go through it. It's always worth it.
It is. You don't think that sometimes in the moment.
No.
But we're not living. I mean, there are times to live in the moment, and that's a good practice. What we talked about, some Gen Zers don't like to sit in it.
Yeah. Because it's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. Yeah. And they have, and I shouldn't just keep saying they, they, but anyone who doesn't like that feeling will try to go around it.
Yeah.
And you can go around it. It'll just keep coming back
again and again and again.
If not in this life,
the next one,
it will get you.
Yeah. And I've just learned, I mean, too, I'm like, I look at it like this kind of work is really, really top heavy. And I myself am like, okay, I'd rather get all this hard stuff out of the way first.
Mhm.
And then, you know, I've done all this hard work. So now I can kind of cruise and I can maintain. And I kind of equate it to, because, you know, I like to hike and backpack a lot. I'm like, great. Like, let's get all the elevation gain out of the way. First and foremost, we got 2,000 feet. Let's hit it. Let's do it. And I'm like, why did I do this? I'm questioning my life choices. Like, oh, so relatable to the healing journey and to your self-awareness and to sitting in that discomfort. And it's like, this sucks. This is hard. What is wrong with me? Why did I choose to do this? But then you start getting halfway up, midway up, and you're looking around and you're like, wow, this is actually kind of cool. Wow, my body's really strong. My mind's strong. My emotions are strong. My consciousness is becoming more aware. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you just start noticing these shifts, these changes. Unhealthy people start leaving your life, which can hurt because you become attached to them without realizing it. And healthier people come in and you're like, oh, wow, that feels, I feel more aligned with this person, with their way of thinking. I feel safer with them. I feel safer with myself. And pretty soon you get to the summit, you get to the top of the mountain, and you're looking out and you're like, this is why I do this. And it's the same thing in your own healing journey. And I like to say, and this is like very worldly in the mentality of society, is very black and white. It's very concrete. So it's right, wrong, good, bad, fault, no fault. Right. And it's just very boom, boom, like wagging the finger. You are bad. And I was like, well, are we bad? Or are we just responding, reacting to the stimulus in our life without having self-awareness or feeling, I don't know about you, but when I feel judged or condemned or criticized, especially when people don't understand the entire situation. Yeah. I mean, that just, I don't know, just takes the air out of your balloon. It does. Deflates you. And then you're like, but. And that adds to that reactivity.
So self-awareness would help cushion the reactivity. But even people who are self-aware, you know, like you said, it is hard. And I think one of the biggest things about, I know with us, is that it's what frustrates me is when people don't understand me. And I know that's what you were saying, you know, and that,
or they're not even open
that
to
will
hearing.
That will make me cry. Like the frustration of not being understood or misunderstood. That is so, like, it really gets me. And I think it is just because it's so frustrating.
It is. And I think, you know, it's probably universal. We all know what it's like to be misunderstood judged. You've heard me say this, I don't know how many times, but I even say this to my clients. I'm like, you need to pair understanding with compassion, because you can understand something to the nth degree and not give a rat's ass about it.
Yeah.
It needs to be paired with compassion. And I've absolutely said this, like, you know, I don't necessarily need to like know everything or even really understand it, but my mindset is that I have more I have more to learn. I don't know everything. So for instance, I have several LGBTQ and trans relatives and friends, and I don't know what it's like to be that, because that's not who I am. And I don't need to know everything about it to know that I care about those people and that they're human beings and they're good people. But I can learn from them because I don't know what it's like to be in the wrong body.
Yes.
I really, really don't.
No.
So,
and nobody does. And those that judge that's so dangerous.
It is. So I want to sit back and go, I have more to learn here. So it'd probably be a good idea if I just learned through my experiences, and they're safe people, so I can ask them questions when I don't understand things.
Mm-hmm.
I always provide the benefit of the doubt and compassion and space to learn and grow. And I find that, and honestly, I've really never had those things given to me. Nobody wanted to understand me. So I guess sometimes when you're deprived of those things, you want to give those things because it's what you want given back. And I really kind of feel like that's a universal thing.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we all want that? I mean, unless you're a psychopath, really. Like, and at that point, if you're a psychopath, you just don't care.
It's true.
Yeah. And the majority of us are not psychopaths.
If you want to get a reaction or find out the reactivity of somebody, you just bring up trans people.
Oh, I know.
Like, why is that such a hot button?
Yeah.
And I don't understand it. I really don't. And it's like, you know, what is wrong with somebody just living their own life? They're not hurting anybody. And that goes with any way that someone wants to live their life. If you are not hurting anybody, you're doing your own thing. You're, I don't understand the judgment. I do understand where it comes from because we were both brought up in the church. And this is not about church bashing or anything or religion bashing.
Nope.
Nothing like that.
No.
But it just, it comes to aid in the understanding of that's where those preconceived ideas about who trans is, you choose that, or all of those words, those hot button words that I've been hearing is, it's a choice. If my son wants to wear makeup, I would be, so upset. And I don't let I was reading, if you want to hear reactive people, just fricking get on Facebook.
Oh my gosh, they're all so reactive. Like they're real. There's a lot of judgment. I was like, you guys don't give anybody any margin for error. No, anything. It's just very absolute.
And it can go from like both sides. You know what I mean? It's just like there was somebody who put somebody on flame, and it was like this kid. And they're like, I'm not getting any response from the school district, so I'm going to put this 10-year-old's name, like all of this. And I was like, okay, why are you're being just as bad as...
Yeah, you're bad as the thing you're criticizing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was just reading through this thread, and they were just going off about something about the trans people and whatever. And I was just reading through it because I want to understand.
Right.
I'm coming at conversations with people that I don't believe in politically. I don't believe in religious wise, but I'm going in and I'm having conversations and I'm saying, I want to understand.
Yeah. I want to understand you. I want to sit with you and listen. I feel like it's that bipartisanship that we want to see in our government, local and national, international. Yep. And it's like, well, in order to understand the opposing side, for lack of a better way to say it, you have to sit and listen to them. Yes. You can't just be like, well, you said you like trans people, so I can't like you. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's so ridiculous. That's what a very small-minded, narrow-minded, judgmental, and honestly, in my opinion, very, very hurt. You're really trying to protect yourself because you're afraid of it. And fear will make you do stupid things.
We could just change a segment right now and start into fear. Yeah. Because fear...
I think we should do a whole series on fear.
We should, because fear is something that I know I've shared with you. I was like, I'm not living in fear anymore. And once you decide to do that, and anyway, that's a whole... we'll do a segment on fear, because I didn't really understand how much fear controls every aspect of your thinking, of your reaction, of your understanding, and it does get in the way. So how are things different, like from like 10 to 20 years ago? Like,
I kind of feel like we're more, it's almost like things are tightening up in a bad way. Like there's even less margin for error. There's more critical judgment. I think there's still cancel culture, but it's not, it's just being presented a different way. I feel like there's more isolation. Like people feel even less like they're able to make mistakes and not be treated poorly for it. Or like, oh, you know, you're so stupid. I can't be your friend anymore. I'm going to cut you off. I just feel like there's more of that. And you see people kind of going into their groups and like, oh, we can't let so-and-so in because they think like this or they think like that. They think differently. And I'm thinking that's the people that you have to sit down and be like, well, why do you think differently?
Yeah.
Why? You know, I have friends and family all over the political spectrum, spiritual, religious spectrum. And I find myself, you know, these are people that I care about. I want to stay connected with them. And I don't need to agree with what their views are, but if I want to, I need to meet them where they're at. And I hope that they are doing the same for me.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to be that person that lives by that example, to reach across the table and be like, oh, and I kind of like feel like I'm like speaking different languages, you know, so like from the religious standpoint, you know, we were born and raised into very religious households. Very. I feel, and I've expressed this to my family, they don't agree with me, but I think I'm right. I feel from my experience, we were raised in a cult, and
yes,
and which we can have another series on that if you want to. You guys can let us know. And so when I'm speaking to those family members, I will switch into that language because I know that that's how I can connect with them.
Yes.
And it's not that I lost religiosity. I gained my spirituality, and in that I gained my freedom. So part of how I gained my freedom. So I will just switch over and speak to them because I want to stay connected. And at the heart of every good relationship is respect and love. And if I want that, I need to live that. I need to be a part of that. Because love is the greatest gift. It's the greatest power that we have.
It is. It is. I mean, you can't really expound. You know,
it is.
I mean, that's enough said.
Yeah.
Done. Cut. Now everybody needs to understand it. Yeah. But I feel that like the last time I had a conversation with a family member who was very different than me politically. And I wanted them to understand that I want to understand you. I love you. You are intelligent. You have been a huge part of my life. So help me understand why you like this person, or why you are agree with this person when it goes against the principles of Christ. This is where I have found a little pushback, is I'm having this openness and this, okay, I'm coming at you with understanding and curiosity, but they are not.
Yeah. You legitimately have to model what you want to see.
Yes.
And
that's hard.
It is hard, especially in the face if they're being disrespectful or really pushy and overbearing. And I have learned that a lot of times people want to like word vomit everything out to make you understand, to get their point across. And what I have learned is like, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for you to have that conversation. There will be a circle back around. I oftentimes like when I've done this with my son. We've had some really hard conversations because as a parent, you know, when your children come to you and say, hey, you did X, Y, and Z when I was a kid and that really hurt. Oh,
now that is where you have to eat your words. You do. You have to eat your words and you just have to shut up and listen.
You really do. And so in that, I'm like, and especially because as a child, young adult, I could never go to, I could more so with my dad than my mom, but I really couldn't with my mom. But at the end of the day, you just weren't seen and heard. They weren't seen and heard. It's just the cyclical behavior patterns being passed on, pain body being passed on. And So my child is talking to me about all the stuff that I did wrong. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm like, this is really, really hard, and listening to it. And I also know that there's going to be a time where we're going to circle back around to this, and I will have an opportunity to give more insight. And you have to also recognize whoever you're speaking with, are they in that place where they can hear you? And if they're not in that place where they can hear you,
yeah,
then you know that whatever you're going to say, they're not going to be able to absorb it, because they can only hear you and understand you to the level that they're at with themselves. And again, this is what I feel like middle age is really good at. This is why it's like literally my favorite time of life thus far, is because it's like, oh, I can see that you're not in that place yet. I will meditate, and I will ask, give me a segue, because I know the circle back around conversation is coming.
Yeah.
And when it does, and it's legitimately, it's something that I just don't even consciously think about anymore. It's very subconscious, and it's just like it's first nature for me. And it'll be like, oh yeah, can I have a segue? I want to have this conversation. I feel like the energy is good. They're open to it. They've grown. We can talk about this again. And then it's just like magic. And that segue comes, and you just go right into it. And then you can talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think people just want to get it over with because they want to be seen and heard. And I like totally get it. It's being seen and heard is like being loved and accepted and validated. And I'm like, it's a series of conversations. It's a series of opportunities with each other. And it's not just in one. And I think so many of us just want to be a one and done, and it's just not how it works.
Well, and it also goes back to the whole reactivity. It's like right now, I feel also what's being pushed at us is there's no time to just rest and be with what's going on, especially in the world. There's different things coming at us all the time. And
flying at us.
It is hard for somebody to have those difficult conversations because I feel like everybody wants to be right.
Yeah.
And then they don't know then just to sit with it. And I think that it does come with age, but I also think it does come with working on yourself to understand that you have to be patient. Not everything, like you said, has to be one and done, handled right now. You have to, it's a series of conversations, and that's how change happens. It's slow. And so I think when we have this instant gratification information coming at us in this world right now, it's really hard to have those conversations and to sit. And it's almost like you really have to just in your mind think, if it is hard, just be like, I'm not going to respond. I'm just going to listen. And that's how you can begin. If it is hard for you, just say, okay, I'm sitting here listening. I'm taking this in. I don't have to react right now. I don't have to interject. I don't have to give my opinion. Just listen. And when you start doing that, you see the other person. They feel validated. They feel like you're hearing them.
Care.
Yeah. And it changes, and then it softens them.
It does. It's, and I think in like conflict resolution, at least in my world, this is just kind of like what very well known, that if somebody is elevated around you, you remain calm and you help bring them down, because as sooner, and I've been on the other side of this, I've been the elevated person when I see a calm person and I'm like, and they're reacting to me calmly. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I can come down too.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't work every single time, but so essentially like you're providing, what you're describing is you're providing calm, safe space for this other person to be seen and heard. And when they start realizing and recognizing that, even if it's subconsciously, you can see it coming down, like, oh, like you're not trying to be mean to me. You're not trying to hurt me. You are holding boundaries. You are, requiring me to be an adult in an adult situation, because a lot of times our inner, whatever part of you, like I've seen this with some older adults. I'm like, that's their wounded 8-year-old child inside coming out. And legitimately, I'll shift and talk to them in a way that an 8-year-old would like to be spoken to, not to be condescending, but to meet the need of the part of the person speaking.
That's huge.
It is huge. It's taken a long time to get there. It's not overnight, but it feels good because I don't know. I guess my 8-year-old, she thinks that feels good too.
Yeah.
Like that's like salve to a wound.
Mm-hmm. So if things do seem a little reactive right now, like we kind of talked about some of the things that we do. I meditate, huge meditation fan. And growing up in the church, I prayed, but meditation right now to me and that whole growth process in my life has changed me dramatically for the good. I mean, it's an amazing experience. And so I know meditation helps with reactivity.
It really does. I would always think back in the day, I had a lot of anxiety and I actually have ADHD. So I have like a double bouncing ball in my brain. It's, trauma brain, anxiety brain, ADHD brain. Oh, well, there's 3 of them in there. But, part of what helped me start working on that and stepping into my self-awareness and less reactivity and more responsiveness. And because that's really what we want is responsive, not reactive.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was meditation. And I legit started out like 1 minute a day because like that's all I could really tolerate. And it was just breath work. And then I started like adding color to it because then I could see what I was bringing in and I could see what I was releasing. And that was super powerful for me and I needed it. Like the ADHD needed it. Because it was like, what? Yeah.
And we could do a whole another segment on meditation itself. Because I know I've done some videos just trying to model a meditation session because I've had, and what spurred that was so many people saying, I can't even calm my brain for a minute. And, how do you do that? And I guess I think people think that, well, your brain's just not going to think about anything. It's just going to be empty. And I mean, our brains think. That's what brains do, and so it's just, but what it is, it's helping when things start to come to I just like notice, name, return. So when I have something coming in, what am I going to fix for dinner? Or something like that. I'm just like, okay, well, that's here. But my return is my breath. Just take a breath and then it just floats away in a cloud.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can throw it into the river of thought, whatever. Ooh, yeah. And really, I know the river of thought. I learned that. Yeah. In meditation.
Nice.
Yeah. So, the human brain will naturally drift after 7-8 seconds. So so it's actually very normal that your brain does that. I think that's where people are like, oh, I'm doing it wrong. I can't focus.
No.
I was like, no, all you do. And instead of it shuts that critical voice up, like, shh, sit down. And you do have to tell it to sit down. I mean, lovingly and firmly. And then you're like, no, I always think, and I imagine I'm putting my hand up to my brain. I'm like, no, come back. And then she's like, oh yeah, sorry. I'll come back. I mean, I like to add humor to mine. So I'm like, because I don't want to take myself too seriously. And that's another part of it too. Are you taking yourself too seriously? Then maybe you shouldn't. Because you can't be all work and no play in this life. You're going to get real worn out.
I know. We don't take each other seriously.
No. Oh, there's so much laughter.
Yes. So meditation is a huge thing to help with that.
Yeah. And if you really, if you're that nerd, that research nerd, that data nerd, because come on, my people, go look up the research on meditation. It's out there and it is so good for you in so many different ways. And all you need to start out with, if you've got 60 seconds, which we all have 60 seconds, Give it a go.
No excuses.
No excuses. 60 seconds.
This is a Gen Xer. No excuses.
Just rub some dirt on it.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. So glad you came to join us. Join us next time. Jump on this roller coaster ride.
All right.